Hi there, I'm Ted Alexander. Here at Monarch Media, we pride ourselves on covering Old Dominion University student athletes while they have eligibility. But every now and then we get the special opportunity to catch up with some former Monarchs who've finished their eligibility, but they're doing great things after their days here at Old Dominion. And today, we are pleased to be joined by former Monarch quarterback number 14, Taylor Heinicke. Taylor, great to see you.
It's good to be here.
Now, these circumstances for you being back here are kind of funky. You're coming back to finish up your degree. Tell us about the plan you had when you were here as a student athlete and carrying it through to now.
Well, yeah, I got up to Minnesota, and you just see so many people come and go, and I kind of opened my eyes to the realization that this isn't going to be here forever. It could end now, it could end 10 years from now, but I want to prepare myself to when it does end. I do have my degree, and I have a plan B.
A difference for your path, you only had 4 years of eligibility, no redshirt year for you. Oftentimes the student athletes can take care of a lot of their coursework during the redshirt year. Did you think all along, since you weren't going to have that redshirt year, that this would be a part of your mission?
Yeah, I initially went into mechanical engineering, and I believe that's a 5-year program here. So I knew I was going to have to, take a lot of classes in the summer and whatnot and try to finish up in 4 years, but I only stayed here for 3.5. I went home for pro day and trained then. So, at the end of the day, I had a 1.5 years left, and I did just switch to mathematics. So, I have to take a little bit more credits there. But, when I first came here, that wasn't what I was looking forward to do. But, you have to roll with the punches, and I'm glad to be back.
As a member of the Minnesota Vikings, how important was it taking that semester off so you could get ready for pro day?
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things of your life. And I'm sure, Flante and Tyler Burns and whoever else is doing the pro day can tell you that, this kind of determines what your life is for the next 5-10 years maybe. So you got to take those 3 to 4 months very serious and train and try to be the best you can be.
Is it kind of weird coming back and becoming a student again?
Yeah, it actually feels like yesterday I was actually in here preparing for pro day. So, it's moving by really fast. But again, I'm glad to be here.
The memories you've made here at Old Dominion will be with Monarch Nation forever. What sticks out to you when you think about your Old Dominion career?
You look back at it, and starting from high school when I was getting recruited, I didn't even know Old Dominion had a football team, and from then to now, what it is, we're in Conference USA, and we're actually competing in Conference USA. So the fact that we've come that far in 5 to 6 years is unbelievable. And when I'm done playing football and I really get to sit back and look at what we accomplished here, I'm gonna be really proud.
How did your Old Dominion football and academic experience help you make the Vikings?
There's a lot of things, and I think Coach Wickham helped me through a lot of it, whether it was just on the football field, whether that's mechanics, stuff like that, doing reads, certain plays, stuff like that. But, and again, going to school, you have to be responsible for yourself. And at the NFL, you're just responsible for being you and going out there and performing. And like right now, we have 4 months off. It's up to you whether you want to go work out, get better, or you just want to, hang out and watch TV all day. So at the end of the day, it's a job, and it's up to you if you want to be good at it.
No one handed you this position when you're going through the process of training camp, etc. When did you realize, I'm going to make this team?
Never had that realization. Again, just going through training camp, it's a grind every day. And I went to the Tennessee game, our last preseason game, and said, you're going to play the whole game. And I remember Sean Hill taking me off to the side because he had a dress just in case I got hurt. And he's like, don't you dare get hurt. I'm not trying to play. So that was a fun game. I thought I did pretty well. And the next day was probably one of the most stressful days of my life. Just sitting waiting for a phone call, and I never got that phone call. So the next day, going to the facility, and my locker's still there. So that was one of the coolest days of my life.
Who was the first call you made?
Had to be my family. I believe it was my mom, and then obviously called Coach Wickham, called my coach from high school, and some close friends. So it was a fun day.
Did you get a chance to sort of take it all in, realize this was a goal you had for years and years, and finally you had achieved it?
Yeah, it still hasn't really sunk in yet. Again, every day you're just trying to improve and prove that you belong there. So again, it hasn't really sunk in yet, but maybe it will soon. I don't know.
All right, so you're a Georgia guy, now off to the land of 10,000 lakes. What's life in Minnesota like?
It's a lot colder. Again, like I was telling you earlier, that Seattle game, -6 degrees. I've never seen anything like that before. But it was a cool atmosphere. It was fun. It's a nice area, very clean. You know, it's fun to be in. You know, it's a fun town to be in.
The fans seem to be really over the top for the Vikings. Talk about the fan base for Minnesota.
Yeah, again, the Seahawks game tells it all. It's -6 degrees and it's packed house, and it's one of the loudest stadiums I've ever been in. So just the fact that they're going to come out in that weather, it speaks volumes of how true they are to their team.
Being a competitor, what was it like not playing for the first time in probably 8, 10, 12 years for you?
Yeah, it's tough. I go from taking almost every rep from junior year in high school all the way up to senior year here. Well, so that's about six, 7 years. And then you get in the regular season in the NFL, and I'll be lucky to get maybe 10 reps throughout the whole week. So, you know, that's a tough part, but again, it's kind of like a redshirt year for me. I got to sit back, I got to watch Teddy do his thing, watch Sean kind of mold him into a starting quarterback and give him his advice from being in the league for 13, 14 years. And I really just try to soak it all in, and hopefully it'll make me a better quarterback when I do have to play.
What is a normal week like for the number 3 quarterback in an NFL team for you?
Well, the cool thing about me and Sean, we're 2 different types of quarterbacks. He's more of a pocket passer, you know, so whenever we play the Cardinals, for instance, he's more of a pocket passer, more like Carson Palmer. But when we play Seattle, they would throw me in there on the scout team because I'm more like a Russell Wilson rather than Sean. So it just depends who we played each week, and that's the amount of reps I would get on the scout team.
You talk about the cold a little bit. You were on the sidelines for that Seattle game. It's -6. How do you keep from freezing? I mean, from freezing to death there. It's dangerous conditions out there.
Oh, yeah. You know, those little toe warmers and hand warmers, I had about 30 of them stuck to me all over. Every piece of clothing they gave me to wear, I put on. And but again, it was still cold. But at the end of the day, you just have to want to be there, have some fun with it. I knew that was the last game at TCF Bank Stadium, and I was just going to remember it. It was very, very cool.
You mentioned having 4 months off. What's your off season going to be like? Obviously, you're a student again here at Old Dominion, but what are you doing to make sure you're prepared for training camp for 2016?
Yeah, me and Coach Wickham actually came out with a workout plan type of deal, where we're throwing 3 to 4 times a week, lifting 3 to 4 times a week, and we actually put in some hot yoga, which is surprisingly very hard. You know, we've done that past 2 weeks, and I can tell you that's probably the hardest work I've ever done in my life, and it's really making me more flexible, stuff like that, more mobile. So I'm excited about what we're doing.
Going into your second year, how are you a better quarterback?
I just think I know more. Again, at the NFL level, it's different. You go from here, offensive play calls, 3 tail. At the NFL level, it's a paragraph long. So that was one of the biggest adjustments for me, was really getting to know the playbook and be able to recite those plays. So now that's under my belt, I think that's going to take a lot of stress from me out this next training camp, and really just focus on what I need to be doing with whatever the play is called.
What advice would you give to the senior Monarchs now who have the dream of the NFL in terms of transitioning from being a student athlete to being in the NFL business?
Yeah, it's different. Again, football here it's supposed to be fun. You know, with all your guys you've been with for 4 years. At the NFL level, you know, again, people can come and go, and you can't really develop that type of relationship with people at that level. And again, at the end of the day, it's a business, and you have to go up there, perform, and if you perform well, then they're going to keep you around. But you have to keep doing well and keep wanting to get better. So my advice to them is, you know, just go after it. If it's your dream of yours, and it's something you've always wanted, go after it. And if it works out, awesome. You know, it has for me. If it doesn't, you can always say that you tried and you gave it a shot.
How can you translate the pressure that's on you each and every day to perform and sort of put that in another compartment and just go out there and have fun and be relaxed and be natural with the game? How do you combine those two?
Yeah, it's tough, especially as a rookie. You know, you're just going out there every day. It's like a job interview, and you're just kind of getting stressed out. And it just takes 1 or 2 coaches to come up to you and be like, hey, you know, you're here for a reason. We didn't bring you in for no reason. Just go out there and have some fun like we saw on film. I remember one of the coaches came up to me and said that during training camp practice, and that was one of my best practices after that, after he told me that. And I think I really needed that. And again, at the end of the day, it is a game. It's football, and it's supposed to be fun. But there's always a business side to it, and that's where people get caught up in.
That's why you become a math major, so you can understand the business side and keep the numbers going, right? What classes are you taking now?
I'm in a Calculus 4 class, abstract algebra, statistics, and I'm in actually like a research and strategy type of deal, so knowing where to research online, stuff like that. It's like a preliminary course I have to take, but yeah, abstract algebra and Calculus 4 are really give me a hard time right now.
And when do you head back to Mankato, I guess?
Sometime in mid-April is when we have to report for workouts, voluntary workouts, stuff like that. And then training camp is, beginning of July, I believe, or late July. So,
Taylor Heinicke, we appreciate your moments and the memories you created for all of us here at Old Dominion. We're so proud of you and what you've done as a professional, and glad to have you back and appreciate the time here today.
Thanks for having me. Taylor
Heinicke, look at the numbers. How about 16,279 total yards? That's fourth all-time for FBS. 14,959 passing yards. That's number 6 all-time. And 132 touchdown passes. That's 7th all-time. Those are the things he did here at Old Dominion. Can't wait to see what he can do as his NFL career continues with the Vikings. Thanks to Taylor, I'm Ted Alexander. This is Monarch Media.